What is going on, everybody? Welcome to week 3 of the Power Rankings. 3 coaches are undefeated, and 3 coaches are here in this video. Moet.
Hello. Hello,
Envy.
what's up?
Envy.
What's poppin'? Hello. What's
Excellent,
poppin'?
excellent. And this week's Power Rankings are sponsored in part by the San Diego Chargers. Be sure to check them out.
That's
because
me.
they made the rankings today.
Thank you.
At number 10, we have
The Philadelphia Scissors. That's Chimpact right here, making his way back to the top 10 after this week. Now, Chimpact won his game 6-0, a dominant defeat over Patty Trills, who hasn't been doing too well this season. However, Chimp's dominance with his team that he brought, Patty just didn't have a lot for it, and especially the late game Zero Aura cleanup was quite fantastic.
Yep, that's pretty much what happened. He had nothing for Zero Aura.
Mo, you want to add anything to that?
No, I agree. I mean, Chimpact just had a. This is the story of most of Chimpact's games. He has a really good team for his opponent.
No.
It either plays really well or it plays really badly.
No.
So the one thing that I did like about Chimp's team was the double intimidate core with Crocodile and Quillfish being able to lower the attack of certain mons, and also the Crocodile thankfully gave him a little bit of fortune by dodging a Will-O-Wisp there, so that it can remain healthy and wealthy.
Wait, he clicked Will-O-Wisp?
I think he clicked Will-O-Wisp with his Incineroar.
Okay.
Versus your Crocodile, I think you crit it though. Yeah. However, I don't think he still had the firepower enough to break your team.
Yeah, I had aromatherapy on my Slurpuff, but I didn't need Crocodile anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. Number 9, the Bullet Punch Club.
So from last week, they were also at number 9. We kept them the same because they did face Joey this week, which was a very difficult game in the sense that while Uzi had set up a pretty good position overall for himself with dual screens, he brought dual screens into this match. He got crit through screens by Sylveon's Hyper Voice, and a max HP Scolipede went down
in one hit. In
one hit from full.
Not even surprised.
Yeah.
Not even surprised at this point.
Joey did have a Gigalith in the back with Sturdy. However, he needed to hit, I think, 4 Rock Blasts?
4 Rock Blasts.
In order for it. And the Scolipede did have weakness policy as well. So there was... So if he hadn't hit 4 Rock Blasts, then I think he would have still won. And then he also had to hit the Rock Blast as well. It was definitely, I think, a late game position that I think was the best chance for Uzi to win. However, the crit made it impossible. So I kept him this. I think, keeping him the same is fine.
He also might have had to hit a Mega Horde. I don't know if +4 Poison Jab or whatever move he had kills the Slowbro.
Mm-hmm.
I would think it does because +2 Mega Horn should do around the same damage as a +4 hit.
Yeah, I think it would have knocked it out. The weakness policy definitely would have procced if there was no crit.
Yeah. And he wouldn't even need to hit Mega Horn if the Rock Blast misses anyway. Because then at that point he could just click a different move.
Yeah, it was a tough game overall.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to think about how I have to build around some of his stuff. I'm sure you do too, because I think you face him after me.
Yes, I do.
Who?
The Bullet Punch Club.
Uzi Gunner, the Bullet Punch Club.
He plays Envy, me, and then Joey.
Yeah.
Wait, he plays Joey, Envy, and then me.
Yeah, finished Joey already, and then...
he already played Joey.
Yeah.
At number 8, the Nuzleafs. The Nijiminin Nuzleafs.
So they did play their game versus Nexus this week. And Nexus got it pretty close overall. He's starting to get more accustomed to the timer, which is great.
Yes.
I think he brought a pretty cool team. I saw some of his stats like sub CM Keldeo.
He brought a pretty funky team.
His sub CM Keldeo had Hydro Pump Aura Sphere, and then when I asked him why aren't you running Secret Sword, he said that he didn't want to miss Secret Sword, and I told him it was 100 accuracy. He didn't know.
What move was he thinking of? Focus Blast?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
No clue.
Okay.
But I think there was a role involved or something. I think Nexus did mention to me that on Arcanine, I think there was a role,
I think
but
he was trying to say he clicked knockoff on Arcanine with Weavile.
yeah.
But he also like he faked out the Weavile. He faked out the wheezing, which I that whole even bringing the Weavile in on the 50% wheezing didn't really make too much sense at that point because he could have just forced it out with the Heliolisk. I'm pretty sure he still had that alive. I'm almost 1,000% certain. And then he didn't have any answer. I don't remember that the Nuzleys had a good switch in at that point for Heliolisk because Nexus had just killed the what's that thing called? It was called Gary in that game, or Carl. I think it was called Carl, the horse Pokemon. With stamina. What's that Pokemon?
Mudsdale. Yeah, yeah.
Mudsdale, yes. He had just killed the Mudsdale off of a good prediction using Grass Knot terrain, maybe 4 turns earlier, 4 or 5 turns earlier.
Yeah.
So he had a pretty free. I think he should have went Heliolisk there, and then just straight up Thunderbolted because the Nuzleys didn't have a switch in, and he would have been forced. He probably would have just sacked the Arcanine like he tried to do right there, and he would have been able to keep the Weavile and might have won the game. Who knows?
Yeah. Overall, it was a pretty close game overall.
Yeah. Pretty tough loss for Nexus there because that was a way that he would have been able to come back into the.
Yeah, he definitely he played for sure. He played the last half of that game. After that play, he started playing really well, and he almost brought it back. For sure.
Yeah, I think with a few different plays, he could have won this game, but I think he needed this win too because I mean he did face myself and Joy in the first 2 weeks, so
pretty tough.
Yeah.
And at number 7, the Detroit Steel Wings. I think they lost last week, very close to the Pangoro, right?
Yeah.
What game are we talking
well,
about?
last week they made a switch that cost them the game with Pangoro setting up SD, and then sweeping their team with mostly clicking Bullet Punch and Drain Punch.
And this week they had a sweep of their own. With a Shell Smash Cloister at the end. Looking at the beginning of the game, I can't remember too much of it. I just know that he was really concerned about the Rock Blast killing near the end, and it was a very easy KO though against the I forget all these Pokemon. I have to go back.
Who was it exactly he played? I forgot that name.
He played
The
Magnitude, Steve, the Sawsbucks, yeah.
The Sawsbucks, right. So the Sawsbucks, he played that game really well. And he even said, because he did a post-con, and he said that the one play he regretted was not switching Reuniclus in on the Terrakion and then Iron Defensing there, because that would have put him, I think it would have just been the Terrak and the Cloister versus a +2 defense Reuniclus, which probably would have won him the game. But I would say the misplay he made, everything was cool. Had he just gone for Gyro Ball at the end of the game there, I don't know how that wouldn't have won the game for him. The Cloister was it was Focus Sash, and he said he didn't have Aqua Jet. So I think he's actually right. Actually, now that I think about that, I totally forgot about it was Focus Sash. So yeah, that was a tough spot. He would have had to make. I don't know how much Magnitude had that set up, but it worked out extremely perfect for him. And looking back at it, thinking about it now, not Magnitude. Who's the other dude? Who's the Steel Wings dude?
Seabed.
Seabed. There you go.
Yeah, Seabed.
I don't know how much Seabat had it planned out to sweep a Cloister at the end. He kind of seemed a little shocked that he won himself, but he had it all. I mean, it worked out perfectly for him, and he had the perfect set for it too. Because Steve mentioned he calced it for he calced his Reuniclus for Icicle Sphere, 5 hitting +2 instead of Pin Missile.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, why would he click Rock Blast? Then I realized it was not Rock Blast, it was Pin Missile.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I think, like I said, he's right. He should have just switched to Terrakion and Iron Defense there, but that's a tough read to make.
Yeah. Iron Defense Reuniclus is definitely a solid Pokemon bringing this matchup.
Yeah.
It's really like it's really tough because you have to like you bring the right set, but you have to find an opportunity to use the right set.
Right.
Because otherwise, if you don't have the right opportunity, you're not going to be able to use it effectively. Like if you have a Scarf Pokemon.
At the perfect time.
Yeah. Number 6 or 5.
Number 6, we have the Dundee Dials at number 6. They lost their week.
We should just talk about number 5 then, right?
We could do 5 and 6 together.
Yeah.
We have Jubilife Piplups at number 5 and Dundee Dials at number 6. They both played each other this week, and it was a pretty interesting game overall, where James's Conkeldurr was absolutely fantastic in this matchup. Life Orb, Iron Fist Conkeldurr. And then if you think about Callum's team overall, he didn't really have a lot to handle that Pokemon really, or like switch into it at all.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you look at their teams and they really didn't have a lot for each other. The Vikavolt kind of, if it had Bug Buzz, I mean, what did James really have for the Piplups really have for that?
Yeah,
it could have done a lot of work. Even the set that he had, he didn't know how good that set still was versus him, because the Piplups didn't have Toxic on his Umbreon, right? So I mean, it relies on the Energy Ball getting a Spadef drop, which isn't the best thing, but still, that was the only thing that had a remote chance of beating that Vikavolt set was his Umbreon. So I think had he played the Vikavolt a little bit better and got an Iron Defense up once he was able to get rid of the Umbreon, I don't see how James could have beat that set.
Yeah.
The same thing with his Porygon. I think he could have played that a lot more offensively, because James didn't really have many switch-ins for that too, except for, once again, the Umbreon. That was the only thing that could probably take a Choice Specs Tri-Beam.
Tri-Beam.
Did he
Tri-Attack? There you go. Not Tri-Beam.
Yeah.
I didn't watch so much Dragon Ball. What were you saying, Chimpact?
Did he bring Scarf Raboot in this game?
It was Scarf Raboot, yeah. And so the thing is that, like, the mistake that Callum made was sacking the Vikavolt early was a mistake, and secondly, I think James went for a Flare Blitz versus the Vikavolt, thinking it would kill or that it would knock out, but there were still screens up. Callum did bring screens, I think, on his side, so the Vikavolt was able to tank the hit and live, while Raboot had to take a huge. I think Raboot got knocked out by the Vikavolt, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Died to a Thunderbolt right after,
Mm-hmm.
and then Piplups tried to make a play, predict the Vikavolt switch, and he used Volt Switch, and the Vikavolt was able to get a Roost off still. So I mean, I honestly think, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember like how the Vikavolt died, but
it went down. Yeah, it went down first, and then once that went down, then Callum's whole team was open up for Conkeldurr's Drain Punches, and then I think at the very end, or near towards the end, there was I guess sort of a 50-50 in a sense where James could have to go for Drain Punch or Mach Punch versus the Porygon that was in, and there was Serena in the back which had Queenly Majesty, but then Mach Punch just knocked it out on that turn.
At the end,
so that was a pretty good call.
At the Life Orb, Iron Fist, Mach Punch.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But
that's
And probably
isn't
Callum-
Mach always the better play? Because if you lose Conk there, the game's over.
Yeah, there was Conk and I think Rotom in the back, and then on Callum's side there was Porygon Z and Serena. I think Mako's always still like the best play either way, because firstly Callum probably wouldn't have known. It probably would have thought maybe Cal Guts or something, and thought that he might live because Porygon was at full health.
Yeah, Life Orb Iron Fist is not something you see that often, so like it's reasonable to assume that it's not gonna deal that much damage to you.
Yeah.
So at the very end, there was a misclick by Callum. I'm not sure if it really matters, because Synthesis has.
I think it was the aromatherapy. I think, right?
No, what I'm saying,
Yeah,
he clicked aromatherapy, but he wanted to click Synthesis.
Oh, I see.
So like if you click Synthesis, you only can click it 8 times, and at that point, Conqueror's gonna heal to full. So at that point, what you're trying to do is lower the attack of the Conqueror with Trop Kick, which I'm not sure it's going to be able to do that effectively, because Drain Punch is still going to do a lot of damage. So I'm not like, you Synthesis, you're not going to get up to full HP anyway. Like you'll get near, but
I couldn't tell. I think the Conk was doing close to 50% anyway. So I think he had to Trop Kick.
It was doing like less than 50 because of leftovers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
yeah, he had to Trop Kick eventually.
Yeah. But like the Conqueror's gonna be at full, so I don't know. I think the Conqueror would have been able to beat the. Actually, would it have been able to beat the Cinderace if he switches out to Rotom to reset? I think it would. So let's say like it repeatedly Drain Punches, the thing gets a couple of Trop Kicks off and it kills it, but the Conqueror's at very healthy amount because of the Drain Punches on the thing, the Serena.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to just go back and reassess how that game would have went with Synthesis, and Drain Punch could have also crit. I don't know.
Yeah, he made the moves that he needed to do to win the game overall.
Yeah. At the end, the Cinderace didn't even have Sucker Punch, so there was no chance that the Cinderace could have beat the Rotom outside of Hydro Pump.
Yeah.
But at that point, if you don't misclick, you at least have the out of Hydro Pump missing on the Cinderace after the Cinderace kills the Conqueror, which was likely going to happen, I think. Or the Serena kills the Conqueror, whatever it is. Right?
I don't know. I think it all depends on roles, really. I think if Callum had got enough low rolls, he could have beat it no problem. But also by the same thing, had James got enough high rolls, I don't think he could have. I don't think he could have stalled it out. So I really just think it all comes down to rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that's number 5 as well, because they played each other. Number 4, the comeback. The Wakanda
Got
Weavile.
the Wakanda Weavile at number 4. Moe, take it away.
What happened in this game?
I basically just wanted to bring, like, not even, I can't remember what the whole team was really. It was all based around though getting toxic spikes up as soon as possible, and then beating him in more 1v1s, and that's basically how it was gonna go. I led off with Marini versus a Zoroark that was disguised as a Mimikyu that I knew was a Zoroark. I said immediately, this is Zoroark. I switched to Volibee. As soon as I got up my Toxic Spikes, he encored me. So I got up 2 layers of Toxic Spikes. Switch to Volibee. I take about 40% from knockoff. I foul play and drop him to his Focus Sash. And then he Sucker Punches as I foul play again. Risky play, but I understand since he has Encore, me going for Roost there isn't as much of a threat, and probably would have been a choke on my part. I could have Toxic, but what if I miss Toxic? So I foul
Tragic.
play again. He goes
Mhm.
Butterfree, hits a Hurricane, kills my Volibee. I go to Duraludon. I don't know how that Pokemon's
Duraludon.
supposed to be pronounced. I don't think
Say
that's how it's
after
pronounced.
me. Duraludon.
I don't think that's how you're supposed to say it. That's not how it's spelled. The way you say it,
Just repeat it.
Duraludonix.
Yeah. Jason
Kevin
Derulo.
Duraludon. I went to that thing. It has Rock Slide. I used it. I flinched him. He went for Sleep Powder. So I mean, technically, the chance of him not getting that Sleep Powder off was like, I don't know, 40-something%. So that's not
probably-
really that much hacks.
It's probably,
IMO.
it's probably a little higher than 40, but okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with like the three. What was it? 3 sash users or something?
Yeah.
It was 3 sashes and 3 life orbs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the order he brought it out was okay because then nothing really got
It worked
shipped by
out. Yeah,
the
it worked
sand or
out.
whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Mo got T-spikes and not regular spikes, so at least they live to hit every time. It's just that
Yeah,
you can never bring them in raw, which you can't do it anyway.
I flinched. He went T-Tar. I body pressed that as he got up his rocks, and it died due to the poison we were just talking about. And then he went Phalanx, and he clicked No Retreat as I hard switched to Marini. My Marini is EV'd to always live this thing from full.
+1's in it, but Marini,
Unfortunately-
I would not be surprised if it lived from.
It definitely no okay. So the EVs I had 2. I wasn't completely max, but I was damn near max. I calced it if he was max attack, adamant, life orb. So he was life orb. I don't know if he was adamant. He needed the absolute max number. So the maximum number he can pull is 130. The number he can pull before that is 127 twice. I was at 128 HP. So he needed the absolute max number to KO my Marini. Let's say he did get the max number, he did KO. He would have took life orb plus sand plus poison. He would have been at about 50%, and then I would have just switched around because I just
Yeah,
pretty
because
sure
you had 2 layers of T-spikes on the field as well.
Yeah, so it was toxic and not poison. And then
Yeah.
after he missed the Zen headbutt and I got the haze off, he decided to retreat.
Yep. Got a coward failings.
I mean, I understand and I don't understand. Like I said in my video, it took us like an hour trying to get the chess timer set up.
Yeah.
And then when we couldn't get that set up, we just did the regular battle. And then he
I
missed
thought Joey came in and saved the day.
No, that was
Nah,
me. That was
Joey
me.
did that for somebody else.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was. It might have been Chimpact.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, he missed the sleep powder, and then he missed the Zen headbutt. So he's a little salty over that. I understand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't run from a battle.
I mean, at that point, it's pretty easy to run.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I'm just saying, I wouldn't run from a battle.
Yeah, it's better
I mean,
just to
we're
play it
the-
out till
we're
the
the
end or
left
whatever, just for the content's sake, just keep the video longer.
I mean, the game's
Exactly.
over though. Like he has no more win cons.
Yeah,
that was the Hail Mary. He threw in the towel. What do you want from him?
Yeah, threw in the towel. I mean, just send your mons out and let them die.
Yeah, if
That's
they
what it
really
means.
want to throw in towel.
Okay, alright, whatever. Tomato.
Yeah.
Number 3,
Yeah.
the Aegislashes, the Antarctic Aegislashes. Played against Fruit Berries.
So this is a pretty interesting game. Actually, I think, I know that that visually brought, he brought screens on his side, and then Fruitberries used, I think, Ditto, or I think also something else might have had screens too. But I know that the Ditto copied the Rotom and also set up screens on his side. So it was a kind of like a screen battle in a sense. And I know that Diggersby tanked a Marowak because of the reflect on that side. Diggersby got a big knockoff on it. Late game, there was a crucial moment when, which I think was a choke on Fruitberry's side, where he had Haxorus in with Light Screen up versus Dragalge and Ditto in the back, which was already weakened. In order for Fruitberries to have won the game, I think he could have switched on the Draco Meteor that came out on that turn in O-Code Haxorus. He could have gone into the Ditto, sack that, and then being able to set up with Haxorus to scale shot and win the game. Because if he had, I think he had scale shot on the Haxorus. I think I don't exactly remember, but if he did, then it had it basically won the game from there.
Yeah, I was also wondering if he had scale shot or not.
Because of Sash Zam, so he could have broken the Sash and been faster than anyways. There was nothing else that could have checked a +2/+1 Haxorus.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Ditto usage, it really went to waste. Because all it did was like pretty much stall for him. He could have used it a little bit more offensively, but
there was a decent amount of over predictions as well, like Shadow Ball or like the Jirachi was really nice. It had some pretty good coverage overall, but then it was like trying to predict either clicking Shadow Ball or clicking Aura Sphere on certain mons and stuff. I think there was more over prediction on Fruitberry's side. Predicting, I think the Diggers be on one turn and going for Aura Sphere when the Jirachi was still in.
The first turn it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, but like when you have a team that like forces predictions, like it's.
Yeah, you gotta really play like aggressively.
Yeah.
Especially like since Visualize has such like an offensive team with so much like hard hitting presence.
And it's like the offense is also really bulky because of the screens as well, so it's hard to break.
Yeah.
Number 2, the New York Dreepies.
So they played Uzi Gunner
Yeah.
this week, and had really good control of the game. I think up till the point when Scolipede was in behind a light screen, which actually I think could have turned the game, depending on rolls and such from Rock Blast and stuff. But Joey just decided, let's just summon the power of my RNG, or his RNG, I should say, and go right for the Hyper Voice crit, and just not even let that be a factor. You already know. But I think it was still a win over one of the tougher opponents.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it was a good one.
We can skull burn everything on the first try when you get crit everything on the first try. It's pretty.
Yeah, must be
easy.
nice to be. Must be nice to be Joey, isn't it? It must be nice.
It's pretty easy to remain undefeated, but that's not being salty. That's just me being average RNG.
Yeah, average RNG.
Nice.
Number 1, the San.
Number 1 is me. I've
Diego.
held the spot.
Him Hargers.
Yep.
All right.
Played versus Fade Attacks this week. Did you guys watch my game, by the way?
Of course.
Of course! Exclamation mark.
Excellent. So y'all saw what happened, right?
I was trying to. Well, I can. So I was trying to remember exactly how you got the Hattering. Because I can't. You hit it with something.
So from the Dazzling Gleam from
right.
from Togekiss. Yep.
Togekiss. And he was super surprised. He was like, "Is this offensive Togekiss?" Were you? I don't remember.
No, I was defensive
like,
Togekiss.
Defensive? Yeah, I thought so. He was just like boldish. He didn't have any Spadef EV, so it's not like Hattering's super Spadef bulky anyway.
No,
yeah.
It is.
Once you got that out the way,
HP.
it was literally like it was GG. You got a double. Was it a double or did you just no? Because nothing died, so it was a double onto on Kiram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a double predict from Bronzong. No, not Bronzong. What Pokemon was it? I can't remember. Help me out, Envy. What Pokemon was it? What Pokemon did you double out of? Because I remember you doubled out of something into predicting his Kiram switch, and then you got your Dragapult in there.
Oh, it was the Volt switch with Lantern.
Okay.
Because I went for Skull, expected him to switch, so I went for Volt switch there.
That's what it was. You're right. Yep. You Volt switch, and then you got Dragapult in, and then he hard switched his
Snorlax in there, which got 2 KO'd. It was a Fizdef Snorlax, by the way. Keep in mind.
and it kind of made me laugh because he's like, are we gonna eat the next one? I hope it doesn't look like it, but maybe. And I was like, bro, it dropped it down to 96 HP.
Yeah.
It's not eat the next one. And so the Snorlax died. He should have just sacked anything else
Yeah.
except for that and the Lycanroc,
Mhm.
which he brought out next. And then I'm trying to remember his exact rationale because I watched his video too. I watched both your videos, and I think he said he didn't. He thought you might think that he's Scarf because of
I think yeah. So he went for the crunch that turn. I think he expected the
crunch.
rune
Would
to come in.
switch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the Bronzong or
he
something.
thought he could catch Bronzong
Yeah.
because he thought you might think he's Scarf, and I was like, I didn't know exactly what happened there. I was confused, but he for sure should have sucker punched since he had it, and he got blown away. But you said that yours was EV to live.
Yeah, I gave mine like I think mine had like 12 HP, 76 defense or something. So it lives Sucker Punch from full. It also lives a Scarf Adamant Crunch from full. So because Dragon Ball was at full, I literally lost nothing by clicking Dragon Darts there at that point in time. The play that he should have made was not switched in Snorlax. So I would have definitely lived the Darkest Lariat, and then he could have Sucker Punched after that to knock out Dragapult. But at that point in time, I would have known that Dragapult couldn't live, so potentially I could have saved it. But I think he just made the misplay of going hard Snorlax there, which worked out for me because I was at full HP.
Yeah, that and also he played really reckless with his Hatterene.
Yeah, getting that like knocked out, the very first Pokemon being knocked out, then just open up the field for Dragapult. Like it's that's what it is. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game. I mean, you played it perfectly.
Thank you. Chimp, you got any thoughts about my game?
I mean, a 6-0 is a 6-0. I think your differential is really high right now. Plus 14-ish? What is it?
15 right now.
Yeah, plus 15 after 3 games. That's pretty strong. I mean, the first week was kind of weird because I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it's the timeout thing, but like even then,
yeah.
I think it would have still been
pretty high.
At least that much.
I mean, Dragapult's just really, really strong, but I don't think he really used it. Like this week was where you actually used it, like to its peak.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 weeks you used a lot of good pivots to be able to maintain your W's.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week was the Dragapult week, and I don't know. Like I'm looking at the matchup, I don't know if Dragapult's really that good, but you definitely made it perform really well.
Thank you.
And that's it for the Power Rankings, Week 3 edition. 3 no coaches. What is that? 6, 2 and 1. I think something. Anyways, hope you guys do it. Leave a like, subscribe for more content. We'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.